Okay, this is just a sort of a hints video for Project 6. I tell people this all the time, but they seldom listen to me, so I'm going to go ahead and describe it to you in this video. I'm not going to look at declaring variables, or I'm not going to look at looping through to validate values. All that we'll just assume it's been done. But I'm going to go ahead and describe to you the best way to proceed with this, and that's to create the shell value or the shell methods and put your calls in place and make sure everything's, logistically calling what it's supposed to be calling, and you can pass dummy values back and forth. This is the way to proceed with this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and add all my procedures up front, and I'm not going to worry about any implementation or how I'm passing all this in. I'm just using N1 and N2 for number one or num1 and num2. There's my add. Here's my subtract. And I'm not going to look at the implementation for swap number or anything like this. This is just to get you started. Okay. If you'll follow this, you'll be a lot better off than if you start jumping in there with both feet, because there's a couple of things that you're going to have to do. It's going to have to overcome anyway. All right, there's divide, N1, N2, and then there's going to be a multiply. I forgot multiply. N1 and N2. Alright, and then we need raise to power. Raise to power. That's going to be N3 and power. 3, and then new one, I'll just call this POW, which is power. Okay, and then we have our other two, which are swap num. Number takes N1 and N2, I think. And I'm not worried about what I'm doing right now, whether they're passed by reference or not, or by value. That's all later. And then, more importantly, for this exercise, we need to display results. Okay. Display results takes two arguments. One is the result, and the other is the prompt. All right. Okay, so now a display result, all it does is just output two things. It outputs the prompt and the result. Okay, it doesn't really care anything much about that. So let's go back to main, and let's put again, I'm ignoring anything other than these method calls. Now, this is all you should have aside from your variable declarations and your data validation. All you should have in main are 5 procedure calls. That's it. Now I'm going to hard code these and just put some values in there, like 2 and 2. Again, this will have num1 and num2 in it, when you get finished with it. But right now, I'm just doing it like this. This would have 3, and let's put 3 in there. Divide would, let's see, 3 and 3 again. Again, these are just dummy values, okay? Actually, multiply should go in there first, above divide. So multiply goes in here, and do 2 and 3. So I got add, subtract, multiply, divide, and raise to power. That's all that goes in main, if you've read everything properly. 2 and 2. All right, now, all right, so if we go to add, you're going to have a call to, and all 5 of these you're going to have display result. Okay, and I'm just going to put dummy values in here, and I'm going to put add. You'll have to look at the prompts that I've given you. And I'm going to go to subtract. I'm going to put a call to, and now that's not saying that that's all that goes in here. It's just all I'm putting in here now. So you'll have an if up here. Whoop, not what I wanted. Whoop, dadgummit. How did I get to that? All right, that's been a long day already. It's going to be prompt. I'm having to recreate what I just deleted here accidentally. Result. For some reason or other, I went to the wrong thing. I want to go to subtract. Now subtract calls display result. And again, I'm just going to pass in a dummy number, and this would be subtract colon space. These are dummy numbers. This is just to get the navigation correct. Divide. All of these call display result. All of them. And I need a call procedure display result right there. This would be divide. All right, then did we do multiply already? No. This one gets display result as well. Oops. Apply colon space. Let's go back to add and make sure I got all this right. Add, subtract, divide, multiply. All right, now we need to go to raised power. Gets a call to that. And this would be raised to power. I'm just going to put raise in there. Colon space. All right. So let's go back to main. All right. So again, I'm not doing anything other than putting these calls in there. You'll have to go do your declarations and all your data validation. So assuming that's already been done, then this is all you'd have under all that. All right. So add calls add, which calls display result. All right. Subtract calls subtract, which calls display result. Multiply calls multiply, which calls display result. The call here to divide calls divide, which calls display result. All right, see how that works? So all these are just dummy values. They're going to make sure we don't have any errors, and that everything will see. There's that. Okay, subtract, multiply, divide, and raise. Okay, that's how it works. Now, if you'll go ahead and set it up this way and get these call orders out of the way, then you can come in here later and figure out, the implementation of all that. Now, there's really not much to do except in subtract and divide. You're going to have to put an if statement in those to determine if, I'll go ahead and show you that really. If N1, N2 is bigger than N1, then I need to put a call to what? Swap number in here. Okay. Now, swap number is going to take N1 and N2. All right. Just kind of chaining them over there. If that's not true, that means in the right order. All I got to do is, now, obviously, you can't pass in a 2 here. You're going to have to figure out how to do that without any additional variables in here. But this can be placed right on into divide. Okay. Again, it's the same code. You're going to have to figure out a couple of things here, and that's all you got to do. All right, that's it. And hopefully, let me go back to main. That'll help you out some. We hope it will. Good luck.